Hello, scholars, and welcome to Math with Mr. Ray. First, you want to write your name. Then you want to circle your cohort. So let's start looking. 12 is 60% of what number? Here, it said 12 is 60%, which means that 60% is 12. I'm going to show two different methods. 12 is 60%. And we're trying to find the total percent, which is 100%. Now, of course, looks like an equivalent ratio. We can get from 12 to 60 multiple times, but we do know that 12 is a factor of 60, and 60 to get from 60 to 12, you divide by 5. 100 divided by 5 is 20. So that's one way to look at it. 12 is 60% of 20. Another way we could look at it is with a table. We know the amount and we know the percentage. And we always start with 100%, but we don't know what 100% is. But we know what 60% is. 60% is 12. We can't go from 60 to 100, but we know that there's a friendly factor, which is 20%. 20%, 60 divided by 3, 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 20 times 5, 4 times 5 is 20. So we can look at it like that way. Let's look at another problem. It says, what is 22% of 400? So what do we know? We don't know what 22% is. But we do know 400 is the total, and the total percent is 100. To get from 400 to 100, you divide by 4. 22 22 divided by 4 is let's see. Oh, Mr. Ray made a mistake. 22%, all percentages is over 100. Sorry. And we're trying to figure out this is the percentage side. To get from 100 to 400 is times 4. 22, 44, 50, 60, 66, 88. So 22% is 88 of 400. Or we can look at it like 22% of 400 is 0.22 times 400. Let's see. That is saying 400 times 22 hundredths. 8, 0, 8, the 0, 0, 8, 8, 8, 0, 0, and it's 100. So that brings down, so it's 88. Boom and boomer. Let's look at this one. 40 is what percent of 50? We know 40 is the partial total. 50 is the total. We know that the total percentage, 50 is 100%. To get from 50 to 100 is times 2. 40 times 2 is 80. So that's 80%. We can look at it like a number line. And we could say 100% is equivalent to 50. And we can cut that into 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We can split our 100 into 5 by 20, 40, 60, 80, 40, 30, 20, 10. So 40 is 80%. What is 84% of 300? You could turn that into a decimal and multiply it by 300. And this one is 192 is what percent of 600? We know that number in percentages. We know that 600 is 100%. And $192, we're trying to figure out what percentage that is. And we can find a friendly factor to help us out. So it looks like you have to fill this out, find a different model, find a different method here. Rates and proportion. So first, my way is going to be here, and your way can be here. So what do we know? We know it's 3 minutes to swim 4 laps. So we know 3 minutes, 4 laps. We're comparing minutes to laps. What are we finding? How many laps per minute, which is 1 minute? What do we know? 3 minutes, 4 laps. We always put what we know first. Trying to figure out in 1 minute. So that is 4/3 laps. In a minute, it's 4/3 laps. How many minutes per lap? So for 1 lap, to get from 4 to 1, you divide by 4. And 3 divided by 4 is 3/4. So 1 minute is 3/4 laps. 18 minutes. So go to minute, put 18. 1 times 18 is 18. So 4/3 times 18 over 1. And 18 times 2 is 36. With 54 divided by 3. 3 goes into 5. 1 time, remainder 2, 24, 3 goes into 24, 8 times. Let me see. 18 times 4 is 32. Oops, 72. Sorry, 72. 72 divided by 3, 24, 40. I think it's 24. 24 laps. And 30 laps, you can figure that out from here. So let's look at this one more time. How many laps per minute? So in 1 minute, how many laps? So under minutes, you put 1. To get from 3 to 1, you divide by 3. And 4 divided by 3 is 4/3. 3/4, that's how we got 3/4. We multiply 4/3 times 18 because to get from 1 to 18 is times 18. And what you do on one side, you do on the other. And 4/3 times 18 is 24. And you just got to figure this one out. And using this understanding, I want you to do this on your own. Let's see. Okay. All right. So Summer has 4 pounds. Okay. So the total 4 pounds. And she used 3/4 pounds. For each patty. How many did she make? So our total is 4. Our divisor is 3/4. So we split each whole into 4. And each part is 1/4. We got to find groups of 3/4. So 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups, and 1 remainder. However, we know that each whole is 3/4 and it's 1 remainder. And this to this is 1/3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The answer is 5 and 1/3. Let's look at this numerically. 4/1 divided by 3/4. It's like saying 4/1 times 4/3, which is 16/3. And 3 goes into 16, 5, and 1/3. Oh, you see that? We did work like that today. All right, let's look at this one. A recipe for hot chocolate calls for 6 cups of milk. What fraction can Neil make? And 3 cups of milk. So we know it's 6 cups of milk total. And 3/4 is the divisor. And we split each whole into 4s. And each whole is 1/4. Found in groups of 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like you can make. Also, let's go back here. The answer is not just 5 and 1/3, it's 5 and 1/3 patties. And this is going to be 8 cups hot chocolate. We also can look at numerically because we know 6 wholes is 6/1 divided by 3/4 is like saying 6/1 times 4/3, which is 24/3, which is 8. We just did a lot of this, so grade it. However, you just turn it to a decimal, right? And do the rest of these. Elena and Jules are 12 miles apart. They start moving each other 5 miles per hour. So Elena and Jada, 3 miles per hour. So the total that they're moving is 8 miles per hour. Miles per hour in miles. We know that they together go 8 miles in 1 hour. And they're 12 miles apart. Our friendly factor is 4 divided by 2 times 3, 1.5 hours. All right. And go ahead and do this on your own, because this is graded. Bye-bye.